Thanks for being with us. We are going to get into our conversation very shortly. Melissa Ngania was the talk of town for being the youngest lawyer representing President Uhuru Kenyatta at the Supreme Court. She was the youngest lawyer at the 2017 presidential petition. Ngania worked alongside senior counsel Fred Ngatia, Ahmed Nasir Abdullahi, and Tom Macharia. Let me just take you back to that particular time in court. This is Melissa. Let's listen in.
My ladies, my lords, the application before you is seeking to strike out and expunge the memos as pleaded in prayer 1 of the application before you. The basis of seeking this request is that the memos were unlawfully and illegally obtained by
Melissa is with us in the studio this evening. Melissa, thank you very much for being with us tonight. Thank you. So, Melissa, you are an immediate internet sensation, social media sensation. The minute people saw you, there was reactions and people were asking, who is this lady? She seems very young. Let's begin with your age. How old are you?
Thank you, Lillian. I'm actually not as young as you would want to, but I am 33, actually. Yes.
Okay, and let's talk about your admission to the bar. When were you admitted to the bar?
I was admitted to the bar in 2011. Yes.
2011, and which law firm were you working for then? Which law firm do you work for now?
After my admission, I joined Harvey and Company Advocates, where I worked for 5 years. Yes, and it's at Harvey's that I got the exposure, I would say, has seen me rise through to where I am. And from there now I moved on to partner with my colleague called Steve Wairegi. So we are now at Wairegi and Company Associates. This is my 11th month. Yes, I started this year.
Okay.
Yes.
And your area of practice?
I am a litigator. I hope you get that when I say a litigator.
You can explain to our viewers as well.
Yes, litigator means I go to court. I actually represent clients in court. Yes,
okay.
Yes.
And just going back to the fact that you are part of a battery of lawyers, senior counsel on behalf of the head of state, how did the decision to have you as part of this team come about, and how did you feel about it?
I must say that we were a group of lawyers, as you've said, very senior lawyers were involved. We had a team leader, that is Mr. Fred Ngatia. It is actually Mr. Fred Ngatia who recruited me into the team. Yes, yes.
And so you were recruited into the team. How did you receive news, or how did you react to knowing that you would have to be making these submissions? I don't know what the legal jargon is, but just knowing that you would have to stand in the midst of these very seasoned advocates, for you as a fairly young lawyer, how did you react to that?
First of all, I felt honored, first of all, because you saw we were a group of 25 lawyers, and being picked meant that it was something that I was honored, and I also needed to live up to that. You see, when you've been trusted with something, then it is also an obligation that is put on you to live up to that expectation. But what you will also need to also realize is that we were, yes, a group of 25 lawyers. Most people have said that I was the youngest lawyer, but you can't be shocked that there was somebody younger than me in the team. It's just that she never presented in court. That is a lady called Hanan. Hanan works with senior counsel Ahmed Nasir. We also had a gentleman called Kimani. Kimani also is pretty junior with me, because for us, our seniority is on years of admission to the bar. So it was actually a group, but I had also other younger advocates who were also with me in the team. But maybe now I got to get to the blaze because of presenting in court. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
And when you appeared, before you appeared in court to make your submissions, what did you have to do to prepare for D-Day? I know there was a lot of activity around this time, and a lot of you were busy trying to beat the deadlines. What did you have to do to prepare for D-Day?
The preparation ran through the time of filing of the petition, no, actually of the declaration of the results, because you see now when results were declared, and the Constitution provides that somebody can file a petition within 7 days before. So being in a team of a winning candidate means that you need to prepare for any eventuality, because Lillian, you appreciate that when you're served with a petition and you need to file your response within 3 days of service, it means you're not sleeping. Yeah, so it was a time we had a place, our clients, we had a place where we were working from, and we would report there in the morning, work through late in the night, to ensure that we just had to have everything in order and have our papers by Sunday. We filed our papers by Sunday. That was around 4 p.m. It was a collection of effort. It was not a 1 month activity. You can't actually do it alone. You can't.
And when you appeared in court and made your submission, at first you seemed nervous. Is that the case? At first, your voice even seemed to crack at some point. Were you nervous? Is this just the Melissa? Was this just an ordinary court day for you?
It is not an ordinary court. That is the Supreme Court. Yes, and a presidential petition comes once after 5 years. We are looking at 2022. Who knows whether you'll still be in that team. So it is just not any other petition, I must say. It's not any other brief, but this is a brief in the Supreme Court. Some of my colleagues may never get that opportunity. So for me, it wasn't just any other day. And then, you know, the task that is before you, then you have very senior people like Mr. Fred Ngacha, you have people like Ahmed Nasir, you have people like Tom Masharia. You really need to fit in the shoes, Lillian. You really need to try and don't disappoint. You see, this is an opportunity that you've been given. It is also not only about you, but it's also about your client. And it's not just any other client.
Right.
Yeah.
And, you know, of interest is the fact that you said there was a lot of other women in the background, because the presidential petition is one that brought to attention the stark lacking of women in the Supreme Court proceedings. Aside from the Supreme Court judges, there was concern that there was really lack of women advocates and lawyers in the proceedings. But then again, you told me that a lot of them were in the background. So let's proceed and go into social media. The fact that people were taking screenshots of you during your presentation, they flooded your images on social media with compliments and commendations. Your reaction to this?
To the social media, I actually took a while to see the social media posts. It is my family that kept now sending them on my WhatsApp, and my personal friends who know me, who send them on WhatsApp. And after some time is when I actually saw it through on social media. I really didn't have the time to look through all the posts. Yes, and I read through some of them, of course. Not everybody will cheer you along, but you know, I mean, in life you need to learn that. Yes.
Yeah, and let's go back to your upbringing. Where did you grow up? Where did you go to school?
Oh yeah. First of all, I'll tell you I'm a Sabot. I come from Mount Elgon. I was born and bred in Kitale. I went to Kitale Academy for my primary school. Thereafter, I went to Uganda for my O-levels and my A-levels. I know you will ask me, why did you opt to go to? Yeah, my brother had gone to Uganda before me, and I think it was a wave that he pulled me through. I went to Uganda. I was in Toro Girls. After that, I qualified to go to Makerere and pursue law.
Right.
I did pursue my law. That was in 2005. Yes, up to 2009.
And your most high-profile case to date?
What do you mean by most profile? Of course, the just concluded
one.
Yes,
one. That is the one that you will live to remember as your proudest moment.
Yes. Of course, I've also had my other moments. I remember the first time I appeared in the Court of Appeal. It was an issue for me because I appeared before my very good, whom we worked through in this petition, that is Kiragu Kimani of HHM. He was also part of the team, and I got a judgment in my favor, and I was hardly 1 year in practice, so I felt really happy. It raised my spirits. Of course, I've had my low moments in court.
Perhaps feel that the experience is needed for them to take on roles that put them, you know, at par with their senior, like in your case, learned friends. What would you say to persons who are just beginning in this industry of yours, or even just in the corporate world, who might sometimes feel intimidated by seniors who do not give them the chance to shine or to scale those heights?
I would say that sometimes it is you, first of all, to create an impact. Whichever area you're in, Lillian, I've learned that if you're faithful to your work, there's somebody who will see it. There's somebody who will appreciate it, and there's somebody who will give you that opportunity. So wherever you are, just work like that is the end of it. Don't wait for tomorrow, because that tomorrow might never come. And it's through that working is how people see you. Because take it for example, I was given, I never maybe got to be faithful in whatever that I was given. Nobody would have seen it. Yes, because we tend to blame these seniors, but sometimes we don't give them the opportunity to actually look at a potential in you. Because I believe not everybody is mean. There are those good people who will always see something good in you. And I can say Mr. Fred Ngate is such one person, because he saw the good thing in me. Because I didn't work with him in his law firm. I didn't. And
that is very well said. Last question I'm going to put forward to you as we close. Out of all the battery of young lawyers that could have been selected, what is it about Melissa that stands out? What is it about your character, your work ethic, that you feel has put you on the spotlight this year? What is it about Melissa that stands out?
I'm resilient. I give it all. I dedicate my work time. Lillian, I start my day at 4 a.m. every single day, except on Sunday when I start it at 6 a.m. What I'm given, I give it my best. Just like though I'm telling you, I work not because I would want to please anybody, but I work knowing that sometimes somebody will always see the good in you. And if somebody never sees that, it will just, it won't go to miss. So that is actually what drives me. And I believe that my background explains so much. I've never had a godfather, as people would think, and I keep telling people that we don't need it. Just work hard, be focused, and you'll make it. And making it does not mean maybe going to the presidential petition. You can still make it within your backgrounds, within your backdoors. You can still make it. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing, Melissa. We've been talking to Melissa Ngania. She stood out during the Supreme Court, the petitions before the Supreme Court, and she was the youngest lawyer, not the youngest lawyer, but one of the young lawyers, she has clarified, representing President Uhuru Kenyatta at the Supreme Court. She really stood out, and that is her story this evening. Thanks so much for sharing, Melissa, and we certainly hope to host you again in the near future. Congratulations and job well done.
Thank you.
We're taking a break as we cross over to 10 over 10 with Joey and Willis. Don't go away. Stay with Citizen TV.